Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I'm so grateful to be joining you in the midst of Arizona State's 10th spring practice officially being under wraps. The 10th practice, as I said, of spring ball. Out of 15, there will be one on Saturday, three next week once again, and then one on Tuesday, about 2 weeks from now, a week and a half, whatever, in that range. Uh, it's coming to a close very, very soon. We've seen a lot from spring, and it's been a successful spring. I'd say it's been a more successful than not successful spring, and that's all you can ask for as a fan of the Arizona State football program. I think that you should have high hopes as a fan, whoever's watching this, heading into the year and heading into fall camp in late July. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a topic that's still very pertinent within Arizona State's football program, and that is Jordyn Tyson. We all know he's just about 2 weeks away from finding his ultimate NFL home. He is still likely to be a first round pick, and he officially got confirmed on Thursday morning that Tyson will have his private workout at Arizona State next Friday, less than a week before the NFL draft takes place. So that's a lot of information to digest, and I still don't think there's really a strong consensus on where he'll go. Some people think he might go as high as the Giants at number five. Some people think he'll go to the Chiefs at number nine. Some people think the Rams will take a swing on him at 13. The Jets at 16 is a possibility, even getting into the 20s to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to the Cleveland Browns. There are many different places that Jordyn Tyson can wind up, but this variance in ultimate purported destinations, there really is a common theme, and its teams aren't sure how to feel about his bill of health going into a very consequential stretch of I mean, every season's consequential, but many of these franchises that could take him, such as the Chiefs and Rams, are really facing win now situations, and they need win now players. And the concerns about injuries, sure, they're semi-valid because his hamstring injury, his collarbone injury, and his knee injury that he suffered at Colorado are all pretty significant. They took time to come back from. They cost him most of the rest, if not all of the rest, of the seasons that he got injured in. And there's something of a pattern now, but to question his durability, to question his competitiveness, as Daniel Jeremiah did on Mina Kimes' podcast the other day. I just think that's absolutely uncalled for. I think that that's very much hearsay. I think that it is preposterous to push those narratives, especially as a draft expert. I do not think there's any validity or any root and reason to say stuff like that outside of maybe trying to posture him to a specific team that you have invested interest in him going to. I'm just not sure where those angles are coming from. And Coach Kenny Dillingham really spoke about that, not in great length, but his statement was very clear, concise, and pointed. He wanted people to know that Jordyn Tyson is a top tier competitor, and you should never question that. One of the things that not many people know about is, I believe it was it before the TCU game? It was at some point during the season before a home game that Jordyn got a pretty nasty cut on his hand that required several stitches. It was, when I say pretty nasty, it was pretty nasty. And he ended up playing the same week. And you know, as wide receivers, your hands are your most important physical trait. That's just you can run fast as you want, but if you don't catch the ball, it doesn't matter. And he had a pretty serious cut that could have hampered his ability to catch the ball, and he still went out and competed. Uh, he didn't have to come back from the hamstring injury that he suffered against Texas Tech. Actually, if I were him, I probably wouldn't have even tried to come back. I probably would have started my long-term rehab processes so I could be prepared for the combine and pro day and everything. He decided to gut it out because he wanted to be there for his teammates. He wanted to finish out what they had started in 2024 that he was unable to finish in 2024. He is a team first guy. He is an absolute competitor. And anybody that has been to Arizona State practices, which is mostly media at length, know the type of person and competitor that Jordyn Tyson is. He showed up to every practice. He battled with tenacity. He wasn't shying away from physicality. He never complained about how a practice was going. He never let a practice where he was quiet in deter him from coming back stronger. He never really caused any issues on the field. I mean, we've seen some chippiness here and there at Arizona State practices, but he's not really that kind of guy that creates conflict, even if they do want conflict to ultimately bridge the team further and bring the team closer together. That's not how Jordyn Tyson's wired. Uh, he really is a true professional. He has improved by the day, by the week in terms of talking with media. He has interviewed well with teams. He has everything that you'd want when you look at a statistical profile, an athletic profile, a film review, film study. He checks almost all the boxes. There are very few weaknesses that you can poke holes in his game. The only thing that's really should be a concern is the injury history. But even then, you can look at the injury history and still conclude that he is a very much so a competitor. Uh, you don't have to throw those baseless attacks out on his name because just some speculative nonsense. I'm just floored that I even have to come out here and defend Jordyn Tyson's name from those uh, reports. Uh, it's not hard to debunk why Jordyn Tyson isn't a competitor. It's not hard to go out and point to this, and that to say, yeah, you're totally wrong. He's one of the biggest competitors that we've seen in college football in recent years. And I promise you, this isn't my bias coming out right now. Uh, I wish nothing but the best for Jordyn Tyson. He was nothing but nice to me last season in covering the Sun Devils. But from an objective standpoint, he is one of the most well-rounded prospects at the wide receiver position that we've seen in recent years. And that includes guys like Marvin Harrison Jr., like Malik Neighbors, like Jackson Smith and Jigba, like a um, even some guys in this year's class, Carnell Tate, he's in that convo for most well-rounded players and easiest to translate into the league. Uh, like I said, less than just about 2 weeks until the NFL draft and when Jordyn Tyson figures out his NFL destination. Until then, I'll keep you updated with all things Jordyn Tyson in regards to how it affects the Arizona State football program moving forward, as well as covering spring practices and all the transfer portal drama that Arizona State men's basketball is in the face of right now. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Sun Devils Insider podcast. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much.